All right. So, I like to start off with assets and stuff that you can use. You found the lava, which is awesome. We should definitely kind of add some lava in there somewhere, along with water and stuff like that. And I don't know if you know how to do water, but I can teach you. Just let me know. But let me go over um, some assets first. So, we got our blueprints. I have my filters set up already. I don't know if you know exactly how to do that. I will let you know. You just come over here, add what you want. I usually use Niagara System, Static Mesh, Blueprint Class, and Materials for right now. Um, oh, let's move this over. Okay. So all of these, they have blueprints. These UMGs, you have to install a plugin. You don't have to worry about these. They're for sequences where I can actually put um, words and stuff in the sequence. It's just it takes a long time to code, so I got a blueprint for it or a plugin for it. Um, but if you go down here to pickups, let's change. Oh. These are the items that Jack can pick up using X, I believe. Yeah, using X. So if you take these and say you want an item and you place it out in the world, you can kind of come over here in the default section, items, item ID. I have all these different things. Let's see here. The Rothart bean is health, so it's going to be part of items. And the quantity you pick up, one. So see how it shows in the world now? If you want to do the Storm Piercer, which is a weapon, we'll create our own weapon for this level. And then you're going to go down to item type and click on weapons. You can pick on one. Don't change the data table. It's only for pretty much all the items. If you want to add more items, let's brainstorm about it and see what we come up with. Like, I don't even know. And anything you could think of for this level that would be cool that we can add in. Some of these are only for certain puzzles that I have at the beginning, like the Knight's Wait. Um, oh, these keys, the watching keys, they are. I would like these to be opening doors for triggers. So place this in the level, and we'll have the narrator, Nate, I think his name is. I'll have to look again. See where it is, and then create puzzles for it. But these ones have to be items because I have a certain blueprint for picking up and dropping these items. Weapons, wands, and shields, I will not have a drop system for them because Jack, I only want one weapon in the game, not like Breath of the Wild where you got to pick up a bunch. But so he'll be keeping all these and shields. Cards. Let's see here. Card Jack. These are a little bit more tricky. Put them in here, but I don't have a lot of stuff for it quite yet. I need to write some code so they kind of spin around and they have two different sides. But definitely put a hidden area where a card should go. And I'll give you an example of that. Actually, let's go here. Give you an example of that. So this whole cloud, I made a whole dungeon. Also notice the things like colors and stuff like that, doors. This door right here I created just for this level. If you want, I can create an asset, a specific asset that you would want for like dungeon doors for people to get through. Um, oh, I have these save points. So when we jump, if we want to do like a cavern where it falls into lava, we got to put these save points here so people can come back and not get frustrated, have to go all the way back, and I have save points throughout this whole level. But the color theme, I would like mostly green and purple. I mean, obviously add some more colors and stuff. Here is the dead giant at the beginning where he has the lightning wand storm piercer here. But let's create a different weapon. We might be able to create a different giant, maybe like a rock giant or something like that. But anyway, what was I talking about? Oh, the card. So I have a secret kind of area right here where no one kind of notices unless they look down here and see the card. Lights are very important for adding, you know, to draw the player to certain places. But I do have a card right here, and I'll have a trigger moving this cloud back up to the normal level, and then they can continue on their journey. But yeah, this is the kind of atmosphere I want, but instead of the clouds, I want more cave-like stuff. If you need me to code certain things to move up and down, I can even show you how to do that. You can even copy and paste this, and I can just show you in another video how to make this cloud goes up and down. I have other clouds going from left to right, circles, all sorts of stuff. But anything hidden, fun, let's kind of do that. Here, I'm going to show you another thing here. This is kind of like in the beginning level type small dungeon where Jack's is going to figure out this puzzle. The skull is going to explode and he walks through here. But see how I have like some bridges, rocks, lots of vines, Jack and the Beanstalk type stuff. He's got to jump, which actually Marco, I had this whole bridge across without these rocks and vines and stuff. And he's like, you need to have players jump and do fun stuff. So I ended up taking out bridges and making, putting rocks here that look like they're held up by vines. And then I'll show you where kind of all these cool assets are in a second. But yeah, kind of make it your style, but add in, the look of Stalker, type stuff. And if you need any help with lighting, color schemes, just let me know. All right, let's get back to. Here we go. So all of this in blueprints is just for items and stuff. So you should worry about it, but not too much. And then I got buttons. Let's see here. Clouds and skies. So these are where you're going to find all your cloud assets. I worked on these very early on in the game when I really didn't know exactly what I was doing, kind of. But see this collision, you're going to see this throughout, and they're going to be spelt weird because I don't care. These aren't really normal things you're going to add into there. But if you see collision or something all misspelt or whatever, you can fix it if you want. But these don't mean anything. But my collision system, which took me a while to do, when I double click on here, do collision, what I'll do is on the right hand side, you're going to see an area. Oh, not that one. All right, let's find another one that's better. Actually, you know what? Let me show you how we do the collision. We're going to go to Port City Tavern, static mesh in the filters. I'm going to find these giant rocks. Now, I didn't merge the collision with these rocks, so when Jack steps on them, there's not going to be a very good collision. Let's see here. Awesome collision complex. Actually, this one looks pretty good. Anyway, if it doesn't look good, if most of these rocks I kind of want on the top of the tavern, but also you can use them to like jump on if you need like like an obstacle or something. But usually what I do is I will, click on this asset. I have it open right here at the top. You're going to right click, duplicate, name it collision, and then you're going to take this collision and you're going to put it in the world. Anywhere, doesn't matter. You're going to delete it in a minute. So you're going to go up here to the top left, go to modeling. Once you're in modeling, you're going to go to mesh and weld. Okay. Once it's done, you're going to hit accept. Sometimes it takes a while. This one didn't take too long. Then you're going to go to simplify, accept. Cool. That was easy. Wow. Usually it takes a lot longer than that. Okay. Then you're going to delete the item out of the world. You're going to go back up to the main item. So see, this is named collision. This one's named stack mesh cliff 02. Open it up in here. You're going to scroll down to collision. Usually this is open, but we can keep it closed. It's going to say complex collision mesh. You're going to take this collision, put it on there, and where it says collision or collision complexity, open it up and use complex collision as simple. Click on that, save. Oh, whoops, save. Then when you go back in here, you can move this cliff out here, and the collision should work pretty well. Oh, I'll remove that. Yeah, so see, it's not perfect, but it's usually better than what it was. So Jack can actually walk on it. Okay, so you saw that red bubble in there. We'll go to blueprints. Characters. Oh, no. Components. Inventory 2. Find it here. Oh, trace items. Trace items to pick up, which should be somewhere in here. And we're going to go none for the draw debug type compile. Play again. All this kind of blueprint error, just ignore. I'm going to try and work on it this week. But yeah, now you don't see that red and green trace item. Okay. So anyway, let's get back to... don't use these assets. I probably shouldn't have put them in. I think that was an experiment. Oh, except, well, yeah, don't use these ones. So here's an animal pack. You can... that's weird. Why do you only have a pig in there? Okay, hold on. Ignore that for now. We'll go to fog. This is a purple fog that I like to use for certain things. Oh yeah, if you put it on an object, it's just going to turn into fog, but we don't want to do that. So usually what I do is I come up here and go to shapes. And usually I'll just get a plane, bring it up. And then you can add this to there and you have yourself fog. Okay. So, oh, let's get out of modeling mode. All right, so icons, that's weird. Images, input. Leave all this input stuff alone. Here's another dungeon that I did not do the assets for. You can leave the main menu alone. Here's a medieval dungeon. Yep, you already got those assets. And mega scans. Mega scans you can leave alone. Blood decals are really cool. You just draw, your material instance onto something and it'll put it there. Concrete. This one I had to delete. don't mess with forest floors. Niagara system. I do have some explosions and stuff in there if you know how to use Niagara. Here's all the music. Um, that's weird. Anyway, my assets. This is really scattered out. I need to fix it a little bit. But here's some mushrooms, and here's all the vines. Don't use the ones that say collision. Just avoid those as much as you can. Sometimes I screw up and grab it and put it in the game, and I got to go back, but it happens. Um, Here's a bunch of vines and stuff. Here's these crystal. Actually, let's delete all these before we commit. Oh shit, there it is. These little balls you can put. I like these on vines, and they glow. Fun stuff. Um, but yeah, you'll find some cool stuff in here, like some lanterns. You can put Niagara systems in. I'll show you where like fireflies are and stuff like that. And then this cloud has a hook right here, which I have to add on to the top. Actually, let's see here. So that one, if you want to look at these. So what I did is I kind of added a bunch of different Niagara fires in this one, and then I just added the hook into there. And then when you right click and you can go to groups, and this on the right won't be there if it's not grouped, but if you click on groups, it'll group together so you can move everything around in one. If you want to ungroup, you can ungroup it. But I also have these hanging leaves in this one, or the hangers, this right here, the static mesh hook vine, all these cool little mushrooms for different levels. The skull cages I usually use for like quest items, and then you have to do a puzzle, and then it'll blow up or disappear or whatever you want. The treehouse I'd like to leave alone because I have a treehouse that I'm kind of working on for Jack to have his main base. Yeah, right up here. It's not done yet. I'm gonna have a huge forest coming around here with enemies and stuff, and then like a I don't know if you've seen the movie Hook with Robin Williams. It's like Peter Pan, but I kind of want to make it like the Lost Boys in Neverland style with like rope bridges kind of coming up this cliff and taking Jack up to his little hideaway where he can keep all his stuff. Um, I'm still working on this house. It's just a placeholder for now. I'd like to make it a lot cooler treehouse, but then he can kind of look over the kingdom and see everything. So we also have a mirror. Yeah, all these vines, use those as much as you can. If you would like more vines, just let me know, and I'll create them on the fly. So that's done. And then the Necropolis, I use a lot of these too. I did not create these. I did buy these off the asset store. I don't use all of them. I do use some of them, but most of them I like to use as placeholders. I can create the assets. So if you want something in this kind of design that you want in the level, let me know. If you can't find something here, we'll create it. Here's another pickups one. These are just static meshes. You can pretty much leave these alone if you use the blueprint pickups. Let's see here. Red. Okay. So let's see here. We have park-ups. And then here's the port city. Use these as much as you want for the pirate. Play with it. I really want this to be like a dark, abandoned um pirate town, you know, like I think I have the lore in there. I'm pretty sure. Here are the creatures. The griffin. Ah, damn it. All right, that didn't go over well, so we'll just leave that alone. Here's that's weird. That should have transferred over to. Here's water materials. These are kind of fun. They're just tune waters you can use if you want to. That didn't migrate over either. Okay, I might have to send some more stuff. Oh, maybe it's this one. No. This one also, the Temple of Cthulhu. Oh, that didn't migrate everything over, but there's still some cool stuff in here. These are some tombstones I created. If you want to add some tombstones, these are different color coffins I'm using for a puzzle. If you would like to use them, you can. UI assets I wouldn't worry about. Voices, these are just monologues. Waves, I would not worry about at all. Here's the weapons I have in here. The cleaver I don't want. That was an early project. I changed it to this lightning wand. I can add more stuff in there. Let's create what kind of wand or hand weapon we want to put in. Here's characters. Oh yeah, I forgot characters right here. So we have the beanstalk. This beanstalk I can delete. I use this as my initial first beanstalk. I just don't like it anymore. Don't worry about that one. Here's some cloud assets. These are the cloud trees, which are pretty cool. I want them to float. Creepy bat with my witch. Here's the dead giant. So we have. Don't worry about the collision. We got the blue giant, another dead giant. We got the pirate giant, water giant, wind giant, farmer giant, forest giant. Maybe we could do a rock giant or a cave giant for this one. Let's brainstorm on that, and I can create an asset for you. Jack's 3D stuff. Mannequins we can just delete. Oh, this is the merchant. I'm going to. I have a couple things that I need to add with Gloomgill and the merchant, so we can talk about that later. Let me message James back real quick here. Okay. So this is kind of a cool pirate. We can add some dead pirates in there for Jack to fight if we want to. Um, we got the fairy. I really don't want to add the gambling frog or fairy into here. Gloomgill is going to be at the beginning of the level. I think I'm going to actually add Gloomgill on the merchant outside of this level, and I'll make a sequence. So let's just focus on the inside. We could put Drizzle in there somewhere. He's just some cloud guy that kind of shows around um, different parts of the map. I think that's about it. Yeah, just let me know if you have any more questions, and then we'll go from there.